Hey YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to another mini guide. Today we're going to be looking over a screen shake effect that you guys can use in your game. So this is the end result here. I'm just going to hit play. And right now we have it on a testing mode. When we hit enter, you can shake. And it'll reset back to the center. And I'm just spamming enter, so that's why it keeps doing a weird effect. But if I just tap it once, it goes, resets. And you guys will learn all about that in the tutorial. So I just went ahead here and created a new scene in my little mini guides project here. You can use this, I'm using 2018.3, but you guys can do it on any version of 2018, 2019, 2017 or whatever in Unity. It's nothing too special, just kind of using some math and some timers and kind of creating a cool effect with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is it doesn't have to be on your camera. So I'm just going to create an empty game object here. We'll call it code. If you watched any of my other mini guides, you guys will see I normally typically do this. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put this in my utility folder. So you guys are following along. I have a couple other folders for other things. You guys can go check out those mini guides as well. Or check out my multiplayer series, your call. And inside utility here, I'm going to create a new script called Screen Shake. And the idea for this script is kind of like a one-off thing. It kind of does its thing. That you could have a reference to it. You could call it. It'll do its thing on the camera that has assigned to it, that sort of stuff. So let's close that really quick. Open that up again. Okay, beautiful. Again, the namespace doesn't matter. If you're following along with the other mini guides, you'll notice that I use namespace project as my base a lot. The biggest thing that you're going to want here, though, is that it is a mono behavior. And we're going to start defining a couple things. So we're going to need a couple mono behavior functions. So we're going to want start here. We're going to want an update function. And then we'll have a couple public and private ones. So first thing we want is we're going to need a reference to a camera that we're going to shake. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to put a header to kind of keep everything super nice and neat. We call this references. We're going to have a serialized field. And we're going to have a private transform. And I'm just going to call this camera transform. Beautiful. Okay. Another couple values that we're going to want just to set here is we're going to call this shake information. So these two values are going to be the max shake time. So for example, we were making like a bubble blaster game that whenever you hit gems and stuff off the wall, the camera would shake. So sometimes you'd be able to hit the camera while it's shaking, then hit another camera while it's shaking, and so it kind of like a cumulative add up the shake. And so we're going to set a max shake time. So if you keep, and you'll see in our little demo, if you keep like spamming it, it'll only go to the max and then come back down. Because if you were to keep accumulating it too far up, it'll ruin kind of gameplay for you. So we're going to call this max shake time. I'm just going to put a default. We're at 0.5. This is serializable, so you will be able to change this inside your script. Don't have to worry about it too much. And the other one we're going to change, or we have access to, is the max distance. So that's the max distance in X and Y direction that the camera can shake in. And this effect isn't limited to 2D. You can be fine in like a FPS game or something like that with 3D as well. Cool. And then for our sake, the last thing we'll add here, right below references, is I'm going to have one called testing. And this is just going to allow us to not have to make another script to kind of just show you how the effect works. So there's kind of a private bool here called allow testing. And I'll just put that to default false by now, so that if you were to like go and put the script right away, you won't forget that you have to turn it off. Or not? Cool. Okay, so to start the effect, we're gonna have to add some timers. So the first thing is we have a max shake time, so we're gonna have a timer called shake time. Just like the max move distance, we're gonna have a float called move distance. And then I like this one. This is gonna be a vector 3, which is our position before the shake started. So if you add a ton of shakes together, it will go back kind of like where it had to go. In 2D games, like it's more for like 3D, because in 2D you'll normally go back to 0, 0, but like you'll notice that this will help a lot. Okay, so let's initialize some things and start. Shake time. We'll have our move distance, and these are just some like default values that I'm just going to throw in. And the position before shake is going to be the transform dot position of the camera just at the start. Okay. So we want a couple functions to kind of just break things out, not have everything in update. So the first thing we're going to do is a way to initialize the shake. So we're going to have a public void initialize shake. That's going to bring in a float time, and we'll give this a default of what feels nice. You don't have to follow this. These are just optional parameters. You are welcome to put them in, but it'll help when we do our allow testing to kind of see a result without having to like fine-tune numbers that work. And then the last one is should we clear the shake? So sometimes you don't want the thing to kind of like be flimsy back and forth. So you'll want to clear the shake. In most cases, you'll want to clear the shake, which is why it's default true. Maybe you don't. In that case, it won't set it back, and you'll just kind of keep going up and up and up. So it's welcome for you to play depending on the effect you're going for. Default is that it clears. So the shake time here is less than or equal to 0. So basically, we're not shaking. We're going to set the position before the shake equal to the camera dot position. So this will set our default position. Basically, if I'm going to sit there and I'm going to keep spamming enter, I'll let the shake kind of do its thing and then eventually go back to where it started. If we are clear shake, which is our flag here, we'll want to clear some stuff. So we're going to have a function called clear shake here. Doesn't exist yet, so that's why it's not showing up in our IntelliSys. And we'll go ahead and below this function put in a clear shake. Beautiful. And okay, so then we'll want to we're going to do some calculations. So when we initialize the shake, we're going to do shake time. It's going to be equal to mathf.min. And we're going to do our current shake time plus time. And then if that value is greater than max shake time, then it'll be max shake time. If not, it'll just be what value A is. So basically, our max shake time is 0.5. So if we kept adding 0.2, 0.2 to it, and eventually went over 0.5, it would start setting just to 0.5. So that way, like I said, it'd give you a nice effect that really doesn't affect gameplay, but you still get the nice shake effect. Move distance is going to be equal to mathf.min again. Same concept here. We're going to say move distance plus distance, and then max distance, right? Same concept as shake time. Go down to shake time here. We are going to say that shake time is equal to 0f, and move distance is equal to 0f. So that will happen before these calculations happen if you want to clear stuff. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do a private void handle shake. So I'm not a big fan of putting a lot of logic in update. I like kind of delegating it out to its own function calls. So in update, we're going to do a couple things. So the first thing we're going to do is call handle shake, and that's where we'll do the logic for that. And right above that, if we're allowing testing and the input get key down is equal key code dot return. So that's your enter key there. We're going to initialize shake just with the default values. So that's why I put default values there. It makes it a little easier. And the last thing we got to do is actually like make the camera move. So we're going to grab the Z value off the camera here and just kind of save that, because we only really want to adjust the X and the Y, because even when you're in different 3D positions, you only really need to do X and Y. We're going to say if shake time is greater than 00F, we will minus shake time from delta time. That way it evenly goes down exactly like the time we wanted, right? So if the time was set to 1, it would be 1 second. We're going to calculate our X, which is going to be our camera transform position dot X. We're going to add that to random dot range, the negative move distance and move distance. So if you think of this like a circle in the center of the screen where my mouse is, and we're at 0.5, then we're going to do negative 0.5 and 0.5 to kind of give us like this like circle radius we can kind of move within. And I think I brought in, yeah, I did. I brought in a namespace that I didn't need to. What do we got here? There we go. Okay, we're fixing that. So we're using the Unity engine.random. I don't know why I was mixing it up with the system.random, but make sure we're using Unity.random, the Unity engine one. We're going to go ahead and calculate the same for the Y here. So if you want to copy that, call that float Y. Make sure you change this to Y. You guys can leave the negative move distance and move distance. So that's what creates our whole circle, right? So we're doing X, we're doing Y, combination between them, whole circle here that we can move within. Now we're going to set the camera transform position. We're going to make this a lerp. So we're going to say vector3 dot lerp. And what this is going to do is it's going to take our current position and then our goal position, which is going to be a new vector 3 at X, Y, and Z. This is why we saved Z before. And we're going to say we want to go from this position, this vector position, to this vector position. And we're going to use a time effort of time.delta times 30. This is just like a generic number. I mean, you can change this if you really wanted to. Let's put this back up on that line. There you go. And the last thing we're going to do is if we're not, so if we're not shaking, like we're already at 0 and it's still running, what you're going to do, we're just going to make sure shake time is 0. And then we're going to make sure that the camera transform dot position is equal to position before shake. And that should reset us as well. So yeah, so let's try this out. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to this code object. We're going to look for screen shake. We have our default values. We're going to leave those. We're going to look for the camera transform here. And we're going to allow testing so we can hit enter. And we'll play the game. So when you play the game, you hit enter. You're not going to see anything. If I go to the camera, click inside the game, and I hit enter, you can see that we get the values. Not very interesting. So let's right click in the hierarchy here. We'll go 3D object. We'll add our beautiful cube there. So if we come in here now, we'll shake. You'll see we get this like nice little shake, and I keep kind of spamming. We'll get shake, but then it always resets back to the center. If we take our camera, kind of go like this, and I don't know, bring it back. So now we're on like a weird angle. we'll kind of come in. You'll see that we're shaking, same thing, and it's all working for us. Beautiful. Okay, so in theory you could end there. The last thing we're going to kind of do is there's potential that this resetting could kind of like just stop your whole camera movement. So we're going to, once we hit 0 here, we're actually going to have a flag that like stops the shake. And then doesn't call this anymore. So we're going to have private bool called is shaking. Call it false. When you initialize the shake, we're going to set that to true. And after it's done its initial position at 0, we're going to say is shaking is equal to false. Okay? So what this little flag's going to do is if you keep spamming enter, it'll keep setting it to true. It's going to put our timer up higher anyways. Once it gets down to 0, it'll stop doing the shake. Okay? And then the last thing we have to do is if you're not shaking, is shaking, that's when we're going to run this. And that'll be our final step. So basically, this little function's never going to run unless we're shaking. And if we hit play in there, you'll see, you're not really going to see much of a change here, but if you had other camera movement on your script, you had a script that would like rotate the camera, you would see that it'd be okay there. Yeah, so that's the screen shake effect. Hopefully you guys liked it. And make sure you guys give a like, comment, subscribe, that sort of stuff, and check out my other videos. And as always, have a good one.
Hey guys, I just wanted to make sure that I give a nice shout out to all my Patreons over on Patreon. And they're going to be in the following list for you. Jaren Frost.
Arthur Zhang, Pawn Theory. Hey everyone, if you guys liked the video, make sure you guys click that subscribe button, give it a like, and make sure to comment. It really helps out. And if you guys are looking to support the project further, I also have my Patreon, which will be linked in the description down below. Thank you, and have a good day.